Hi, I'm Ray Wong with Constellation Research. We're going to talk about what we're doing in an era of a lot of change and how to prepare for that. The top questions that boardrooms are asking, executives are asking, is how do we prepare for business continuity planning, resiliency, being more agile, and thinking about how we manage short-term requirements along with long-term strategy and strategic decisions. We have seen so much change in such a short time that we have to question how our infrastructure is set up, how our planning is, and more importantly, being ready for these unexpected times. And we are seeing an acceleration of trends from cloud, digital, AI, modernization, and the capability to be able to deliver in a decentralized fashion. But we have to take a step back. And by taking a step back, we can go through a framework that's really built on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. There's a business version of Maslow's hierarchy of needs that works the same way. At the very bottom is regulatory compliance. Keep me safe, keep me sheltered, make so no one goes to jail, right? The next level up, operational experience, operational excellence. And what we try to do there is making sure for every dollar we invest, we save you 2, 3. And that layer of operational efficiency is crucial. And we spend a lot of time doing that. And then, of course, we think about revenue and growth. What can we sell? How can we get products to market faster? What channels can we be successful in? And then at the next level, we think about strategic differentiation. That is the business model change. That is the transformation, the digital transformation piece we've been talking about over the last decade. And then at the highest level is your brand, it's your mission, your purpose, why you're there. Well, in most cases, and especially in times of crisis, we tend to focus on the bottom two. There's always money to address regulatory issues and operational efficiency. But we often see stats, right? Why 60% of the Fortune 500 have been merged, acquired, gone bankrupt. Well, it's because we've been focused on the bottom two without thinking about the top 3 areas. And in order to be successful, you have to flip the pyramid. We have to start by thinking about mission and purpose. Then we can think about changing our business models. And then from there, we can think about how we actually sell and get into the market. If we can do that, we can be successful and we can prepare for that unexpected change. But you can't do that unless you start addressing the operational efficiency and regulatory compliance. Those are the things that are in software. Those are the things that have AI and intelligence. Those are things that are smart, so we can mitigate the risks, so we can put our best people thinking about the business. Now, one of the top areas that we're thinking about when we think about automation and AI is really 4 questions. These 4 questions will define the autonomous decade. And what happens in this autonomous decade? Well, we have to figure out when we intelligently automate with machines. We also have to think about when we augment machines with humans, because we want a certain level of precision. We want to understand nuance. 99% accuracy in manufacturing might be okay, but 99% accuracy in healthcare might not cut it. We have to make sure it's 99.999, and that requires training of machines by humans. We also want to augment humans with machines, and when we augment humans with machines, we have the ability to actually speed up decision making, make better decisions, get a sentient view of what's happening. And then, of course, we want to know when we want to trust human judgment and allow human judgment to shine, because we know those are exceptions and it requires a human judgment call. This is what we have to do to actually get ready for the unexpected. These are some of the things that we have to think about as we move into the autonomous decade. So the question is, how do we actually move forward, and what are the strategies? For most executives, for most organizations, it's a question of accelerating our initiatives in AI, in cloud, in transformation, and our digital channels. But before we do that, we have to think about where the bedrock of all your work is done. And that is sitting in the mainframe. That is where the majority of your transactions are. That's the majority of your workloads. That's the majority of your storage. And you want to actually start there for the biggest bang for the buck. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, when we think about that acceleration that's happening, think about what's going on. In financial services, almost all the transactions are happening in the mainframe. That's where we actually look up account balances. That's where we think about approvals. That's where we fight cybersecurity and fraud. That's running the ATM network. When we think about travel and hospitality, that's the booking engines. That's actually making sure people get the rooms they want. They're getting their status. The loyalty points are all happening right there. And so the question is, what can we do to actually move forward, transform those areas, and make it a lot easier? And this is really about thinking about new ways of agile development using new types of development tools. This is the ability to actually accelerate activities, building business models around that type of performance, that type of scale. And more importantly, it's thinking about where you can actually take the mainframe to the next level with new types of tools, opening it up to new types of resources, and of course, new types of developers and communities. So we now know what's in front of us. The question is, are you ready to act? And are you ready to be prepared? The time is now to actually reinvest in your mainframe. The time is now to actually reinvest in your business priority. And more importantly, the time is now to prepare for the unexpected.